Okay, in this lecture, we're going to go over the Excel workbooks that you're going to be using for the first week. I'm going to go very quick through this, but just give you a really quick overview of how to do both, how to work in both workbooks. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Um, let's see here, share screen two. Um, and in order to be able to get it, we're going to go to, once again, Unit 1, Descriptive Statistics. So if you go to Pages and you click on Unit 1, Descriptive Statistics, um, then you're going to come down and you'll see Excel workbooks, worksheet 111 and 112. So we're going to download 112, and we're also going to download 111. Okay, so I'm going to open up 111 and we'll take a look through this. Okay, and so I'm going to enable editing. Okay, so I'm going to come right up here at the very top, and we're going to start at number 1. So worksheet 1, levels of measurement. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open up 112 as well, and I'll just have that ready to go in just a minute. Okay, so what are the characteristics of qualitative data and quantitative data? So just take a minute and go in here and say, hey, these are the characteristics of qualitative data. If you want to know where to find the characteristics of qualitative data, it can be found very specifically. Let me show you in this lecture right here and this lecture right here. This is qualitative versus quantitative, and this is nominal ordinal interval ratio. And so it goes through what are the characteristics of qualitative and quantitative and nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. And so this just gives you an opportunity to take some notes on that, put it down. These are the characteristics. That way you know, hey, this is what it is that I'm looking for. Okay. Um, and then coming down here, give an example of a variable that's continuous and a variable that's discrete. So we're going to do continuous, then we'll do discrete. Okay, so an example of continuous would be, I don't know, something that is continuous, something that is not, like, for instance, I have a whole bunch of soda cans. That's not continuous. That's discrete. That's a count. But something that's not a count, for instance, what is the width of my desk? The width of my desk is, I don't know, it looks about 6 feet. Even though I say 6 feet, it's continuous because it could be 6.1 feet, 6.2 feet, 6.3 feet. The other thing would be like age. I am, let's just say 22 years old, 21 years old, how old some of you guys are. That's actually continuous. Even though you say you're 21 years old, you say you're 21, but you're actually 21.56321 years old. Or, you've completed 21 years, but you've actually completed a little bit more than 21. Once again, discrete. Discrete is like counts. So put something that you're counting, like counts of soda cans, counts of shirts, counts of whatever, counts of goals. What are the characteristics of dichotomous variables? And then nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. I go over dichotomous in the other in the word worksheets a little bit more. Nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Once again, there's a whole lecture on this, and I think I gave you some more examples as well in the other worksheet. Um, and then label the following as a sample or population. So just go through this. Once again, I gave you a very specific keyword there. The question is are you looking for all or part? Are you looking for all or part? All is the population, part is a sample. So then you're going to come down here and fill out a chart. Okay. So this is the background information about the data that you're looking at. We were giving a survey to 230 people about their favorite beverages, um, and the survey. There should be a survey. I guess there's not. Um, I used to have the survey down here, but all of the information about what those people responded with. Let's see. Yeah, it's not there. All the information that those people responded with was in that survey tab. Oh, the survey questions. Let's see here. Yeah, here's all the different survey questions. So these were the questions that I had. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, from these survey questions, there's going to be different responses. There's going to be different responses, and those responses, are they numbers? Are they, whatever? Are they qualitative? Are they quantitative? What are they? So the possible answer choices for the qualitative question, the questions can be found below the chart. So you can see, okay, here's the different possible answer choices right down there for the qualitative questions. And then the responses from the students can be found in the clean data with text tab. So this isn't true, and that's not true. So don't worry about that. The workbook will be used quite a bit in Unit 1. So let's come down here. So here's the different questions. Duration. Duration is the amount of time that it takes for an individual to complete the survey. So for example, it could be 342.3 seconds. That's how long it takes for somebody to complete the survey. And the next thing is, so what is it? Is it a number or a text? And it is a number. So we're going to put number. And when I say number, the next question that I have is, if it's a number, can I do math with it? And so right here, you say, yes, I can do math with it. And the reason why is 342.3 seconds. It might be 10 seconds more than 332.3 seconds. And so you can do math. Then this is quantitative. And then the next thing is if it's qualitative, can you do this? Well, we can put right here, not qualitative, not qualitative. Okay. Then if it's quantitative, does the variable have a meaningful zero? Variable have a meaningful zero. And notice what I'm doing here is I'm checking to see whether or not it's interval or ratio. And then right here, I'm checking to see if it's nominal or ordinal. These are the two questions that you have to ask yourself. If it is qualitative, you've got to choose whether or not it's going to be nominal or ordinal. If it is quantitative, you've got to choose whether or not it's going to be interval or ratio. And so we've determined it is quantitative. And does it have a meaningful zero? In other words, zero doesn't mean that there is a complete absence, right? That zero means it did not take any time at all to complete it. So therefore, the zero is meaningful. Another way to look at it is, can you multiply and divide? If you took 300 seconds, is it 3 times as much as 100 seconds? And the answer is yes. So it would be ratio. And then can it have a decimal? The answer is yes. Notice I say there, can it have a decimal? Remember what I said earlier, when I say 21 years old, it doesn't normally have a decimal, but can it have a decimal? Yes. So really what we're looking at is it a count, or is it something that is a decimal that yeah. So it's continuous because it can have a decimal. And then are there only 2 possible outcomes? No. And so not dichotomous. Not dichotomous. So let's look at this next one too. Response ID. Now this one's actually unique, and the reason why is because it's not actually. It is qualitative-ish, but it's really kind of weird. So a response ID is actually unique. It's a unique identifier that is text. And can you do math with it? The answer is no, because number one, it's not quantitative. It's not numbers. And so therefore it's qualitative. And then if it's qualitative, can you put the responses in a logical order? So for instance, you've got a response ID of this, and then you're going to have another response ID that looks different, another response ID that looks different, and they're all just random. And because they're all just random, you cannot put them in order. And because you cannot put them in order, it's going to be nominal. And then is it quantitative? You can just put not quant, not quant. So we've determined it is nominal. And even though ratio has all of the characteristics of interval, ordinal, and nominal, it can only be ratio, or it can only be interval, or it can only be ordinal, or it can only be nominal. You've got to choose between one of the four. Okay. Um, Now it can be quantitative and interval, or quantitative and ratio, or it can be qualitative and nominal, qualitative and ordinal. But it can't be ratio and nominal. It's got to be one of those four. Okay. Does your data have a decimal? No. And because it does not have a decimal, it's discrete. In other words, there's clear separation between each one. And then are there only two possible outcomes? And the answer is no. So therefore, it is not dichotomous. And so let's look at one more. Let's see here. This is a really good one. Which is your favorite type of drink? And people get really confused about this. So these are the different types of drinks. So let's look at, for instance, we'll put unsweet tea. Okay, what is your favorite type of drink? And we're going to, oh, I actually have it right here. Specialty unsweet tea. I didn't realize. Yeah, I have all the possible answer choices. You can just do a drop down and bada bing, bada boom. This is all just a lot of practice for you. So unsweet tea. So what is this? A number or a text response? This is text. Um, is this, if it's numeric, can you do math? Not numeric. Okay. So is this qualitative or quantitative? Because it's not numeric, it's going to be qualitative. Okay. If it's qualitative, can you put the responses in logical order? The reason why people get really confused about this is because you say, of the responses, what is your favorite type of drink? So you're like, of course, I can put all of these in order for myself. My favorite type of drink is this, then this, then this, then this. But that's not what we're asking. We're saying we have 230 people. Each person has a favorite drink. So their favorite drink is a quality about them. So because of that, you might have 50 people whose favorite drink is coffee, 40 people whose favorite drink is a custom coffee drink, 20 people whose favorite drink is a smoothie, 15 people whose favorite drink is a soft drink, so on and so forth. And so because of that, you can't actually put them in order. You just have a count of each one of these from all 230 people. So even though that individual said, this is my favorite type of drink, it is a qualitative variable. It is a qualitative answer that cannot be put in order, but rather the qualities of all those 230 people that they indicated can be counted. And so we're going to say, can we put them in logical order? The answer is no. And because of that, it is nominal. And then right here, if it's quantitative, we're going to say not quant, not quant. Can it have a decimal? No. So therefore, it is discrete. And are there only two possible outcomes? The answer is no. So it's not dichotomous. And so that's how you would do that. And you should just breeze through this going all the way down. Um, and I think I'm going to try to add the actual data to the bottom so that way you can see. So I'm going to update this and put the actual data on this sheet so you can see what it looks like. But this is how you would do this one. And I'm going to stop this lecture and I'm going to start a new one for the next worksheet.